welcome to today's video. I'll be going through with you some of my recent favorites and a couple of disappointing products, so let's get into it. This is a series where I go through some of the products that have either surprised me positively or negatively even. These are not going to be in any sort of order. I'll just share what I really have been liking recently. Some of these will be rediscovered favorites, some will be new to me. But let's start with a couple of skincare products. And these kind of serve the same purpose, or at least similar purpose for me. I have from Curel their Intensive Moisture Care Deep Moisture Spray, ultrafine moisturizing spray with ceramides for instant hydration. I absolutely love this. During the summer I use this sort of to refresh my skin, but this is also one of those steps in my skincare when I need some moisture on my skin before adding serums. I've been using this, or as the last step, kind of like using it as a sealant, if you will. This has been so good and I've been using it a lot. I might have to repurchase soon, but really one of the best purchases I've made this summer. And the same purpose, here's Youth to the People's Adaptogen Soothe and Hydrate Activated Mist, reishi, pentapeptide, hyaluronic acid. I use this as the first step typically of my skincare routine. Since it is hyaluronic acid, I'm really glad that it's a spray form, but I could also use it as a refresher. I just haven't. It's always been the first step, but I've been really impressed how hydrating this one is as well. Now let's add a disappointing skincare product to the mix. So I'm not going to do favorites and then fail. I'll just do these in a bit of a random order. But this one is from Billie, and this is the AHA Deodorant pH Adjusting and Odor Preventing Gel in the scent Tidal Rose. Now the scent is fine. I do like the scent Tidal Rose. However, this makes me smell, and even a regular deodorant typically doesn't make me smell. I don't ever smell really bad, to be honest, even if I forget to put deodorant. This one made me smell really bad. Now, I don't know what's in it that's causing it. I know sometimes deodorants are very personal. People react to them differently, but for me, this is useless since it actually makes me smell bad instead of, Tidal Rose. Or even if it was, just not good at preventing sweating, I could handle that, but this makes me smell worse. So this is not working for me. If it is working for you, let me know in the comment section. It might just be my body chemistry. So it's a very cloudy day here, but hopefully you can see the product all right. So let's move on to makeup that I've been really enjoying. I have from NYX their Buttermilk blushes. Absolutely love those. Then I have from Clinique their Cheek Pop Blush Pop in a 12 Pink Pop. And then from ColourPop, this is their Super Shock Cheek Pearlized in the shade A Drop of a Hat. And these are all just beautiful blushes. The formula in these Buttermilk blushes is just so smooth and so beautiful. So I have the first one in the shade For the Butter, and then the second one I have is in shade My Butter Half. And this is just one swipe of both. These are pretty pigmented, so if you have a fair complexion, that's something to consider. I do really enjoy both of these. I have to be very careful with the For the Butter. I feel like that is a very, very pigmented one, but they have this kind of almost pearlized finish that's so beautiful on the skin. They blend super easily. I just have to be very careful when I use my brush just to tap it off or just gently touch it. Now in comparison, here's that Clinique Cheek Pop Blush Pop in 12 Pink Pop, and this one is the opposite. You can use this as much as you like, but it's probably not going to be too much. It's like that perfect barely there blush, and I really enjoy both of these types of blushes. Some days I want to go a little bit more pigmented. Other days I just love this barely there blush that's so beautiful, so natural on the skin. And this is a foolproof formula. I've never seen it patchy or anything. I just added, build it. It's beautiful. And then I have the third type of blush here from ColourPop, and this is quite different because this really is almost like a blush topper, but it is just so beautiful, completely different. I think I'm going to keep this on my vanity for the fall, but here it is. It's almost like a highlighter, but really it's a blush. And sometimes you might need, you know, another blush on first and then add this kind of as a topper, but it also works just as a blush. It's this very pearlized finish, very beautiful, and almost like this perfect sun-kissed glow type of blush. I absolutely love it. You can use your finger to apply it, and that's actually my preferred method of applying this ColourPop Super Shock Cheek blush. These I use a brush for, but this one is a finger application and just so beautiful. All of these blushes definitely deserve their spots in my favorites. Now let's do another fail here, and this isn't necessarily a fail because I know a lot of people love it, but this is from CoverGirl, and this is their Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence 0.5 Bakuchi Oil Hydro Fresh Tint, and it's got these kind of cool little balls in it. Kind of an interesting formula. I pumped a little bit in there, so you see those little balls in there, and then you kind of rub it in and they break and they add this like very beautiful color to your skin. In theory that should work, but I don't know if I got a bad one, but this is very patchy on me, and I've tried it with a brush and nothing seems to really work, and it peels up with everything I try it on. So it just is not working with my skin. Even if I don't have, you know, anything underneath it, it still looks patchy and it just reacts badly with everything I've tried. Now, if this is your favorite essence or foundation, let me know how you applied it. I tried it with a sponge. It definitely didn't work that way. Finger application is super patchy, but so is brush. I can't figure out how to apply this. It just always looks bad. And at first I thought it was how I applied it, but I've tried it in so many ways and nothing works. It doesn't work on its own. It doesn't work over any sort of SPF or primer. I just can't get it to work, and it doesn't have any SPF, so I definitely need to apply SPF before that, and I've tried multiple different SPFs and nothing seems to work. So if you have this and you've been able to make it work, let me know in the comment section how. I would love to know. Now going back to favorites, since I want to keep this video more positive, I have from CoverGirl their Clean Color Quads, and these are just amazing. I have 3 of them and I've loved all of them. I first got this one, which is Midnight Sky. It's got these beautiful blues and then some coppery shades. These are absolutely stunning. I've used the deeper blue mostly as a liner shade. And then I have the next one in the shade Mellow Mauve. This is the perfect mauve palette for everyday use. And then the last one, which is the one I got the last, is the Classic Smoky. I've used this a little less, but it is beautiful as well. And I have to say, the formula is just amazing. I think this Classic Smoky is maybe missing a crease shade, which is why I've used it a little bit less. But all in all, this is a beautiful formula. This shade in particular rivals high-end eyeshadows, and also I think this one's really beautiful as well. So the shimmers are very, very reflective and beautiful, but the mattes are very nice too. That being said, the palettes have mattes a little bit differently. Like this one has 2 mattes, this has none, and this only has 1. So take a look at the color story before you purchase and see if that's what you want in an eyeshadow palette. But let me just show you a couple of these shades because they just are so stunning. So here's just a collection of swatches. The middle top one is that one, then these 2 are around it, and then I have 2 shades here. But these are just one swipes. They are beautiful, pigmented, absolutely stunning formula. I want to get more. I know I have too many eyeshadows, but this formula makes me want to get even more of them. Now let's add the last disappointing product here. So this is from Huda Beauty, and this is their Lip Contour 2.0 automatic lip pencil in the shade Pinky Brown. And I believe I got this in an Ipsy or BoxyCharm bag, at least not too long ago for it to have completely already dried up. So here is that Lip Contour 2.0, and it is completely dried up. I can't get any color out of it. I opened it, I used it like twice, and then I used it again and it was completely unusable. You know, I tried, here's the actual color, I tried pulling it out and using the other side, and I can maybe get a little bit of color out of it if I really try, but it dried up so quickly that I can't get much use out of it. I turned it around, and this is the way I can get a little bit of color, but it's tugging and pulling my lip when I apply. So I think this just went bad way too soon. And I know this might be a personal problem, but I don't go through lip contours or lip liners that fast that would warrant me to ever purchase Huda Beauty lip liners if this is how quickly they go bad. So this is just something, maybe you go through lip liners really quickly and this won't be a problem for you. But for me, this is a huge problem since I have a couple of different lip liners in my use all the time, and I need them to last at least a couple of years. I mean, I have some MAC lip pencils that have lasted me even longer, and they're fine. I just sharpen them, but they are wooden pencils, so that might be the thing, that they last longer than this kind of retractable one. But that's a little bit of a disappointment to me. I really like this shade, and at first I really liked the formula, but it just didn't last very long. Now, instead of that lip liner, I would spend my money on this one from Kokie Cosmetics, and this is their retractable lip liner in the shade 522 Dusty Rose. It isn't exactly a color match, but I've also had these for quite some time and they last a very long time. I have a couple of different colors. This one's my favorite, the Dusty Rose, but I think I have a nude one too that I love. And these are so creamy, but they stay in place and they haven't dried up, even though this is way older than the Huda Beauty one. So highly recommend giving the Kokie Cosmetics retractable liner a try. These are really good quality. I have two mascaras that I absolutely loved recently. One is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is their lengthening and volumizing mascara. This is a mini that I got in an Ipsy bag, but I also got the full size one, so I'm so happy that I get to use that one. But this mini is really a good size mini. So here's what it looks like. I love that it has this brush applicator. This coats my lashes so well. It doesn't smudge. It adds a nice amount of volume. It's not by no means the most volumizing mascara, but it's great for everyday use. It's great for traveling. It's trustworthy, and that's what I like about it. I am definitely going to keep on using this, and I'm so glad I have another one of these. But then if you like drugstore mascaras, here is from L'Oreal, their Telescopic Lift Mascara. And this truly adds so much volume. I will say this smudges a little bit on me, but I still think it's worth it. I just have to be careful when I apply it and, you know, double check. It's not like considerable smudging by any means, but just a heads up if that's a problem you have. It does have this weird applicator that's flat on the other side and then rubber bristles elsewhere. This took a little learning curve to figure out, mostly because I wasn't watching how I applied it, and I applied the flat side, which deposits a lot of color, and then, you know, didn't realize I have to turn it to use the rubber bristles right away. So that's just something to keep in mind. But this is a really good, not only a good drugstore mascara, a really good mascara in general if you have non-existent lashes. And if smudging is not a problem for you typically, I know you'll love this. Last things I have are a couple of eyeshadow palettes. First one is from Wonder Beauty, and this one I got in my Ipsy or BoxyCharm, and this is their Trailblazer eyeshadow palette. This is just so beautiful. I think I've talked about it on Instagram. And then I have another one from my Ipsy or BoxyCharm, their Getaway Eye and Face palette, and I've used this mostly as an eye palette, but these are both such beautiful formula. I think this kind of creamy eyeshadow formula that they have is just so stunning. This is just one swipe, and I mean, these are so beautiful, and the mattes are really beautiful as well. I had this palette, this Getaway Eye and Face palette, with me when I traveled in Europe this summer, and I almost exclusively used this one. I didn't need any other palettes. I've got a blush, I got a bronzer, and I used this highlighter shade as a lid shade. I didn't use it as a highlighter, but this was perfect. I really didn't need any others, and I'm thinking of taking that with me on my next trip as well. And then this one just has the most beautiful shimmers, great mattes, all around perfect palette. I think their eyeshadow formula is one of the best, hands down. And their palettes are really travel friendly. They've got mirrors, and they are this nice cardboard that doesn't bend or break. So all around, these are amazing palettes, traveling or not. I wanted to add one more palette. This is from Nabla, and this is their side-by-side nude palette. I just wanted to mention this because I rarely do, and it is a perfect everyday palette. I've been using it so much. Again, every time I get it out of my drawers, I just am amazed at this formula. This is a very neutral, kind of boring color story, but this looks perfect for me, especially for work appropriate looks. I keep reaching for this, so I wanted to mention that. So these were all my favorites and a couple of fails that I wanted to mention this time to you. Are any of these products your favorite? Any of them products that you wanted to try? Let us know in the comment section. Are there any products that you've been loving lately? I'd also love to know that. I love trying out new products, so if you have any recommendations for me, please include them in the comment section. A lot of eyeshadows, which I thought was interesting because I was thinking I haven't been that into eyeshadow lately, but clearly I have. I have a lot of favorite eyeshadows here. The other area is, of course, the blush products. I love blushes. My pale skin looks so much better if I add some sort of blush on it. And then the lip liner is a trusty old lip liner for me. And those two mascaras that I recently tried and really enjoyed. Now, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the Billie deodorant. If anyone's tried it, did it work for you? I hope it did, so please let me know. And the same thing with this Huda Beauty lip liner. If you have this and it worked for you and didn't dry out, let me know. It could be a user error as well. But these were all my favorites and a couple of fails recently. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I hope you subscribe. And if you like these kind of favorites and fails videos, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.